Hey everyone, Chase here again, or Lord Talrek if you want to go by my handle. Sorry for no video yesterday. I have some stuff going on, as you can see on my face. So I'm going to give you a review today of how my 2023 is going for January 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday. Alright, so, it's kind of funny because Saturday's video, when I was talking about Friday, I was like, hey, I'm going to have some stuff to talk about. I think Saturday's going to be a fun day. So, a lot of stuff happened Saturday, but was it a fun day? Not really, no. That's how I got this stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of the normal stuff out of the way. So, first things first, did I do my fast on Saturday? I did do my fast. Did I spend any unnecessary money? No, I did not spend any unnecessary money. I did have to buy dog medicine though, but I don't consider that unnecessary. I love my doggos, so whenever I gotta spend money on them, I do. Did I do Taekwondo? I did do Taekwondo Saturday. I did it at 10 a.m. I'll talk about a little bit more of that a little bit later. And I think that's it. So I can go ahead and get into my day. So Saturday morning, let's see, I woke up and I got a pretty good night's sleep. Me and my family went to Taekwondo at 10 o'clock in the morning. We did another review session. This one was a little bit more intense because we had extra time, so we ended up kicking a lot. Which Taekwondo is a kicking sport, so a lot of kicking, a lot of high kicking and everything. Just making sure that you get your kicks high and the good level kicks, and you have your foot aimed the right way and everything. So, it was only for an hour, but it was really good. We had some new people in class on Saturday. It was actually like a huge class, if I remember correctly. They had to move some people to the other classroom and do some other stuff with them. And the black belts, I think, is who they took over there. When we went to forms, because it was just going to take too long if we all went through forms, because usually we all go through all of our forms as a class together. And then, when it gets to you do all the lower forms, and then when it gets to about higher, then you go sit down. So for us, white belts, we just do like our white belt form, that's it. So we went to Taekwondo, and then afterwards, we went to pick up the dog's medicine, and we almost got lost like a few times getting there, which is funny, but it was like we were like trying to follow my fiance's map instructions, even though I knew how to get there, but we wanted to use the map, so we used the map. But it took us like the weirdest way, but we got there. We got the medicine. And they must have like absolutely hated me because I walked in there because I didn't shower the day before, and I had Taekwondo, so I didn't shower Friday or Saturday. So Saturday morning I walked in there right after Taekwondo, and I could smell myself. It was so disgusting. And they were taking forever to get the medicine. There was this dog sitting next to me like at the vet, and they were just looking up at me like, why? Like, why have you done this? Like, why haven't you showered? You smell disgusting. And I'm like, I know, I did this. Yeah, I did. But I got to shower when I got home. But we went home. After we went home, we had indicated before it was going to be a cleaning day. We were going to get all of our Christmas stuff up, and we were going to clean up some of these closets that we had around, because a lot of our closets have this bad habit of just getting a bunch of clutter in them. So they get like just a ton of clutter. So when you open it, it all falls out. Terrible habit we have. So, we did get all the Christmas stuff up. We did clean out our storage closet back there, which is that door right there. If you see that door is our storage closet. We got that cleaned out. We threw away some old decorations. And then, we also cleaned out the closet, the coat closet. Upstairs, we started to do the linen closet in the pantry. The pantry is a really bad one, and then my fiance's closet as well needs to get done. But we did do those. But we did clean the entire house, and we did those closets and got up the Christmas stuff. So it was a pretty productive day on top of Taekwondo. So after that, we kind of just sat around for the rest of the day. Let's see, let me remember correctly. Yeah, we did, because we didn't have we didn't have we were waiting because our foreign exchange student was supposed to have friends come over at 4, but they didn't end up showing up till later. So we set up the downstairs down here. You can't see, I got a big TV on the wall. We got some space for like some air mattresses. So we set up 2 air mattresses down here and made those beds so the girls would have them because our foreign exchange student was going to have 2 friends come over to stay with her. So that took a little bit. And then we made some lunch. We just sat around. We made some chili mac. So I made some chili. Well, my girlfriend made toasted raviolis and mac and cheese. And then I made chili because I like chili mac. And then I threw some hot sauce on that because I was like, bam, hot sauce. I love spicy stuff. I need to clean out my sinuses a bit. So we ate all that. So we ate the chili mac. And that was good. We sat around and just talked. It was really nice. It was actually really nice quality family. Just sitting around talking. I know it sounds boring, but it was really nice just to sit there and talk and eat lunch together with everyone in the household. My future mother-in-law, my fiance, and our host daughter. So that was really nice. And then I got my Switch out, and I took it upstairs and charged it because we were going to be stranded upstairs because I was told I was not allowed to be downstairs while the girls were here because I would be alright. I'd be playing video games or something here on my computer. So no video games for me that day. I did get to play a little bit, me and my buddy online, which we were talking about. I really want to get you guys some content, maybe to watch some videos of gameplay stuff. But we did some Mythic Pluses, and we pushed some keys on World of Warcraft, and that felt really good. I've skyrocketed my eye level. We were working on his Evoker, his healer, Saturday as well. And then the girls finally got here. So my host students' friends got here, and we had gingerbread cookie houses for them to make because they wanted to do that. We did a bonfire for them last night, and we also ordered pizza. We ordered pizza from Domino's, and so this is where this kind of starts to come in, right? So everyone gets their pizza, right? The girls want pasta, and they're gonna share like a spinach feta pizza or whatever. Cool, awesome. My fiance gets a Hawaiian, a bacon pineapple, like she always does. We had to hide it because we don't know if any of Lisa's friends have religious dietary restrictions, and we don't want to be offensive to anyone. So we had to hide it, but we did get that, which is fine because they stayed down here the whole time and we just ate upstairs. And then I got a Brooklyn Style pizza with half of it was anchovies, mushrooms, and black olives, which is like my favorite, my go-to pizza style. And the other half was just cheese because I really like cheese pizza. Well, I took a bite out of one of the slices of the anchovies and mushrooms and olives, and at that point I knew I messed up because I took it and I was like, this is a bit raw. But is what I thought to myself. I was like, this doesn't taste right. I took another bite. I was like, maybe I'm being too sensitive about it. But it's the texture. All those things are really a texture because they taste the same, but it's the texture of how they taste in your mouth. And the cheese was weird too. I just ate that one slice and then I switched to the pizza, the cheese, and I didn't eat any of the stuff with the toppings. And I thought I was fine. Well, the night progresses, and we come down here and we make a bonfire for the girls. Me and my fiance, we make a bonfire, and they sit out there and they're talking and chatting, and I'm sitting here playing Pokemon. I'm really liking this Pokemon, by the way. To derive from the story a little bit, I am playing Pokemon Scarlet right now, and I first started, I was like, man, this doesn't seem like a Pokemon game. This seems weird. And then I started catching Pokemon, and I love that the share XP is on everything. Like, no matter what I kill, no matter what I catch, I get shared XP across all my Pokemon. It makes it so much easier to, like, level my Pokemon, and I get to level up, like, some of these Pokemon that I don't even know what they are. And then there's some old favorites in there, too. So, I'm really excited. This is going really well, but I got to play that yesterday, and we watched a movie upstairs together. Me and my fiance cooked Glass Onion, which she liked, I think. I thought was kind of dumb. I know it's like one of the top 10s on Netflix right now, but like I was watching it and it's another whodunit. Like I'm not into whodunit like movies or TV shows, even though this is my second one I've talked about, but it wasn't good. Like it seemed like it was trying to be funny, but it wasn't funny. But it was like just like it was meh the entire time. Like I had a cool cast. That's about it. That's all Glass Onion really had going for it. I hated the fact that the dude who plays James Bond in it had a cowboy accent or something. I think that's what he was going for. It was absolutely fucking terrible. The entire fucking movie. Maybe that's the guy. Maybe his accent's usually like that. Maybe that's not the James Bond guy. But if not, then I hated his voice. I really do. That sounds so mean. I don't want to. That guy just ever gonna watch this video. But if he ever does, I apologize that I was mean. I thought you put on a really good performance. I just didn't like the plot of the actual movie. And now I'm acting like I'm talking to the guy as if this guy's ever gonna watch this fucking vlog by Chase, aka Lord Tarek, right? That's gonna happen. It's not. But yeah, Pokemon Scarlet, kinda rocking and rolling. Definitely recommend it. Continue with the story. So we built a bonfire, and they get done with the bonfire, so they come inside and they start doing their gingerbread cookies, and I'm tired for some reason at like 9:30. So I tell my fiance, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to bed. So I go and lay down. She stays up a little bit longer with the girls just to make sure the bonfire gets put out properly, and they get started on their cookies. And then I wake up at, and this is going into Sunday. I wake up at like 12:30 or so, and it was closer to 1 o'clock, I guess. Yeah, something was just wrong with my stomach. I was like, oof, something feels weird. Like, something feels really weird. Really, really weird. So I was like, alright, let me try to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and I sit there, try to, take number 2 there for a while. It just doesn't work out, After like 30 minutes, it's like my stomach starts to get worse. I get like serious pain, like right here. Like right where it says Lindenwood, like right there. Ooh, it's really hurting. And then just whoosh, whoosh, it's just like violent upchucking, violent vomiting. Crazy. And it was terrible. I've thrown up before, but it's some of the worst that's ever happened to me. So that happened, and that went on for probably about an hour, throwing up everything. And at one point I stopped, and I tried to drink some water, and I took some Pepto-Bismol. And then not even 10 minutes later, my chest started more pain, like more super painful. And I started going, and I threw up that water, and I threw up the Pepto-Bismol. And my fiance finally said around like 1:45 or so, or like 2 o'clock, she was like, hey, we gotta go to the hospital. Because I was in so much pain, I was crying. My chest hurt so much, and my chest has never hurt like that when I've thrown up before. Never has my chest hurt like that before. But I had a fantastic experience at the ER. We got to the ER, my chest was still hurting a lot. When they immediately get me into like, it's not very busy for us to start off with. At least by the time we get there, like around 2. It's not very busy. They put us into a triage room immediately. The first thing they do is they take an EKG. We wait there another few minutes, and they do a scan, like a X-ray of my chest. We wait a few more minutes, and then they ask me. This one nurse comes in here, just rapid fires like 10, 15 questions at my face, and I'm not answering them well because 1, I'm tired. 2, I'm in pain, and 3, I don't. I'm not comprehending everything she's saying. They put like the IV thing in me, and they hook me up with it, give me my own special like arm pump thing, whatever. Then we go back and sit down in the waiting room. And I probably wasn't in that waiting room for maybe like 30, 45 minutes after the triage room, and then they put me in a room. And I'm not there for long, maybe 15 minutes before the doctor comes in, and he's like, they hook me up with everything, to tape the stuff to my chest, which that sucked. Tape the stuff to my chest to monitor my heart and other vitals, I guess, or whatever. And the doctor comes in, and he asks me a little bit about what's going on, and I tell him. And they're like, okay, I'm going to get some blood tests, and I'm going to take a look at all the stuff, all the scans they done on your chest and stuff. At this point, it's probably like 3. It's probably like 3, maybe 3:45, maybe closer to 4. Because this is all, like the triage room took like 45 minutes, the waiting room took like 45 minutes. I don't know. It's probably closer to 4 at this point, where the time he gets in there. So I'm like, okay. So he does all that, and I'm sitting there, and I just I'm like flipping through like TV. My poor fiance is like just like falling asleep in the chair over there, like one of the most uncomfortable chairs. I'm not comfortable because I got all this stuff taped to me. I have a very hairy body, so it did not feel good. Because I can't hardly move, or it tugs on me. It's just pain. But we we we're doing the we're sitting there, and he comes back in. And he's like, "Hey, I don't see anything wrong." Um, and he's feeling my stomach, and he's checking my ankles and stuff, and he looks at my face, and it's really funny because he looks at my face, and he looks at my fiance, and he's like, he doesn't always look like this, does he? No, Doc, I do not look like that. I usually paint a prettier picture, is what I told him. Um, and he's trying to figure out what it was. I guess I don't know what the ache was and stuff was. He checked a whole bunch of different, he just felt like different parts of my body, I guess for swelling and whatnot. Asked me a few more questions. And we basically like an hour later after he had checked some stuff, he came in and he was like, "Hey, the nurse. I think the nurse came in and take blood, and I was like, "Hey, can I have some water or something or ice chips?" And he was like, "Let me check." And the nurse went back and said, "Hey, you can have ice chips, but be careful because if you're nauseous, we don't want you to throw up again." And I was like, "Okay." So I ate an ice chip, but it did not sit well at all. I did throw up, but I burped. It was only one ice chip, so it wasn't wasn't gonna make me throw up. So I told him, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna." So the doctor said, "Okay, I'm gonna get you some um, some nausea medicine." So they injected me with some nausea medicine. And he was like, "Okay," and this was probably like 5:30, 5:45 or so. And he was like, "All right, I want you to eat some of these ice chips, and you tell me how you doing." And I'm like, "Okay." So nausea medicine. 50 minutes later, I start eating and drinking a little bit of ice chips. Very hesitant. Hate that I have this freaking IV in my arm. That's the only thing I think of. I hate I have that IV in my arm. I can just feel it. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. And the stuff stays down fine, so around, I guess, 7:45, or really closer to like 7:30, 7:40-ish, he comes out, he's like, "Alright, you ready to go home?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, he gives me a rundown, he's like, "If anything else pops up, let me know," and he writes me a prescription for stuff, so I had to go get my prescription filled. But we get home probably around 8. My fiance had been with me this entire time. Neither one of us were running any sleep. And we just pass out. Both of us just pass out till like, well, I do at least, till like noon, until noon. And my face looks like this, and this happened, if you can see. And my eyes do too, if you see my eyes. The blood vessels from all the pressure burst everything in my face. And it's really bad. And my eyes were really swollen. They hurt a lot. And my, he said the chest pain was coming from the stomach acid that was making my chest hurt like that. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a terrible experience. I really hated it. But we passed out till like noon. So, good into Sunday. Started my Sunday review, I guess, guys. Even though that was kind of Sunday. Let's review a few things. So, first of all, did I fast? You bet your butt I fasted because I did not have much of an appetite at all, except for like the end of the day. I hardly even drank anything. Did I do Taekwondo? No, I didn't do Taekwondo Sunday. Look at me. I was terrible. Did I spend any unnecessary money? No, I did not. No unnecessary money spent. So Sunday we woke up around noon, so that's where we're starting the day pretty much at. As I woke up, and I guess we went out to I was watching some anime on my phone, I think is what it was. I saw this new one. Licorice Record does not have me hooked, so I saw this new one called Beast Tamer. Seems a bit interesting, but I'm concerned that it might be a bit too much of an ecchi for me, although it has not revealed signs of that yet. So, we'll see. I'm going to watch it, though. I don't dislike it so far. So, we go out onto the, just in the living room, I'm sitting there, and I just play some more Pokemon, we watch some TV in there, and then finally, I think at 1:30 or so, one of my foreign exchange students' friends, and you gotta think they're here at the house while we're at the hospital the whole time. So thankfully, Sammy, my fiance's mother-in-law, lives with us, so she was here in case they needed anything. And they were only here for a few hours, and they didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock anyways, because they were having a sleepover and having tons of fun, and I'm so happy for them. But I was. But they probably woke up around noon or so, and these girls are kind of silly. They immediately turn on a scary movie or something. I'm like, bro, why are you doing this? Anyways, one of the girls leaves at like 1 o'clock or so, okay, and then it's around probably it's 2 or 3, and I get up and I'm sitting up there and I'm like, I can't, I'm bored. I want to go play WoW or get on my computer or something. Like, Pokemon's great, don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of tired of this. I want to do something else. So I walk downstairs and they're watching another scary movie. My foreign exchange student and one other friend she had here, and they were both watching. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm like, so I'm gonna get on my computer and the girls, and they're like, okay, that's fine. So I get on, and my buddy's on, and we're like, hey, let's do normal today. So we sit there and we watch the videos together of all the fights, right? We watch all the videos of all the fights, and we're like, okay, so let's try to find a group. We find a group, but not instantly. We find a group that is hiring. We're looking for a DPS, 2 DPS, and 1 tank for an 8 p.m. EST run that night. So that means it was going to be 7 o'clock for me, and it was probably like around 3 or something for us. So we were like, all right, that works. We can do some keys or whatever. So we queue up, and they instantly grab us. They grab us just like that, and we're like, oh, okay. And they're like, hey, I'm gonna add you as B tag. I'm like, all right. So we add each other's B tag, and they're like, okay, hey, come on. They're like, just be on, and we'll message you. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've never done anything like this where I've just been like recruited beforehand and I show up at a later time. But this worked for both of us. So we're like, okay, we'll do that. So we do some mythics, and we do really good. We end up pushing Shadow Moon's Burial Ground to a +2 key, which at our eye level is really good. We were strategizing last night, and some of our pathing for some of these Mythic Plus keys are just not where it's at. But we're working on it. We're doing a lot better job now. I think we're gonna both try to go for the 2,000 rating or whatever. I think we're going to try to get like 20s done on all the keys. This week we're going for at least 11s done on all the keys. And we have 4 dungeons done with 11 or higher's timed. So we have a +13 Halls of Valor we're probably going to do today. And we're going to go from there. I have a +14 Ruby Life Pools, but we're not going to do that. That's like the hardest dungeon right now in the expansion. So, we do these Mythic Pluses, and it comes time to where we basically do Mythic Pluses until it's up to the time of where when raid is with these random people we just met. We don't even know. We just know one person out of the raid group, and it's a guild run, and they were just going to invite us. And I'm trying to do stuff like I probably need to get off the computer and do something productive with my day or whatever. But my fiance and my mother, oh, look at my eyes, ugh, and my mother-in-law, my future mother-in-law, and my host are like, no, you're not doing anything, just play video games tonight because you don't look good. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not feeling 100% either, but they do bring me some dinner. They bring me some fish and chips and a milkshake because I'm supposed to eat like a bland diet, so I guess that's considered bland. I don't know, but I finally get my appetite up and I eat that, but that's all like I had yesterday, so now I'm starving, but I'm still feeling a bit sick today. Anyways, continuing forward, we get into this raid, and this raid actually turns out to be like outstanding. Like, this is an outstanding raid. Like, these guys are kind of like, we did not have a lot of faith in the first boss because we walked into the raid and it was set on heroic, and I was like, I thought we were gonna, like, I was started by Buddy, we were in a battle on net chat talking to each other, and we were in the Discord with Push to talk on with their guild, with the other raiders, and I was talking to my buddy. I was like, hey, I thought this was supposed to be normal. He was like, it is. I was like, should I say something? He was like, no, don't say anything. Let's see what happens. So we wipe once on the boss, okay, because their guild tank walks into the fire. Just walks into it. And I like this guy. This guy's funny. But his name is like Jimmy Tanks or something. He just walks straight into the fire. I'm like, okay. But this is heroic, so I get nervous because I don't think I'm geared enough. I'm only like over here like 384 or something. Like, not like, I'm like, I don't have enough gear for this. But I ended up surviving long enough to get a B-res on that guy. And then we kept on going, and then that dude died again. I don't remember what he died to. I think it was fire again. Probably because the first boss was all fire, right? And this guy has better gear than I did, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Second time we go in, and we just kill it. We kill it the second time through. Whoosh, no tank. The other tank doesn't die at all. Completely kill it, because the rest of the mechanics are pretty easy. Well, then they say I was like, oh, they were like, "What? This was heroic?" And I opened up my mic and chat. I'm like, "Yeah, this was. I thought we were doing normal, but I didn't want to say anything, whatever." So we had restarted the dungeon in normal after someone got that loot. I don't remember who got. I don't remember who got that loot, but we restarted it. I mean, pretty much one shot every boss until Council. Council was a 3-shot. Again, because the other tank kept on dying because he kept on getting knocked up and off into the lava. It was kind of funny. But I liked his other take, like I said, but we just had to stick on each other with positioning. And then we one-shot every other boss except for and they had cleared, they just did Grim Totem, so the shaman boss, like, last week, that was their first time clearing Grim Totem. So I guess they're probably late progressing because their damage was awesome. Like, I don't know why it took them so long. Maybe it was just like the pugs they brought in. And then we got onto like this. It was cool because we got into the storm boss, the air elemental, and we're sitting there and they're like, "Oh, we dropped a healer. We need to get another healer because one of the healers left." So they pull in a pug. They're like, "Okay, let's pull this guy down in the Discord channel." And I'm looking in there and I see the guy's name in there, Flames Jarnigan, right? And I'm like, I know this guy. I used to raid with this guy last X-Pack when I raided Castle Nathria. I know this guy. And I was like, I can't remember. So he jumps in the chat. I was like, bro, we raided again. Do you remember? I'm Val. And he's in chat. He's like, yes. And then he risks me. He was like, I saw you in here. You know, I joined up. I plugged into this because I knew you were in here and I wanted to play together. I'm like, whoa, small world. I mean, that's insane. Like, he saw that. He wanted to play together. I was like, this guy is awesome. I loved this guy, by the way. He was such a good DPS. He healed for us as a shaman this time through. Of course, I'm not part of that raid guild anymore. He's not part of that guild that we were in Shadowlands with Castle Nathria. But I'm guildless, and he's playing Horde now. But now you can cross faction raid and stuff. And it was just really, really cool that we got to play with each other. He joined in because he saw me, and then we like did the rest of the dungeon, and we got up to Broodmother, and we only had two attempts on Broodmother and it was done. No, 3 attempts because one was like a false story. Like 3 attempts on Broodmother and then we got it. Done. Dunsky. We had like 30 minutes left because they raid for 3 hours to attempt on Razagath. So that was our first Broodmother kill. And I was like, yes, awesome. And I'm sitting here the whole time. I'm talking to my buddy, and I'm talking to my other buddy who just joined up into the raid because he saw that I was in this pug. And I'm like, dude, compared to Castle Nathria, like, this is so easy. Like, Castle Nathria normal was rough. Those mechanics were hard. But here in Vault of the Incarnates was so easy comparatively. So easy. I mean, they had really cool mechanics, but it was really just dodging, right? Like, I mean, you didn't have anything like the special positioning like you did with the council fight in Castle Nathria. You didn't have to worry about the vials or the ads we did with like Alchemist and Castle Nathria. But Castle Nathria is one of those raids that you expect like a tier 2 or tier 3 kind of raid, I think. But so I think Vault of Incarnates is appropriately placed in the first release, right? But it was really easy. I mean, all of it was really easy. I mean, I didn't have any trouble with any of it except for maybe sometimes I had issues pulling aggro off that freaking warrior, man. He was fighting me for aggro sometimes, but it was fine. We got it worked out. And we got Razagath, right? Well, we spent 30 minutes on Razagath, probably did 3 pulls, 4 pulls, I think, actually, and it was hilarious because every time the first beam would come, like the first breath attack, which is not a cone, it's a line. Whenever that first one would come up, entire raid would drop. Almost entirely. I wouldn't see it because I'm the tank, I'm in front. I have my raid frames turned up because I don't need raid frames. I got the other tank set as a focus right next to me. Click on him, look at him whenever I want to. So I don't see the other raid. So they keep on calling for wipes because everyone keeps dying to that frickin' beam like every frickin' time. So they finally put someone like a marker on there. They're like, follow Skull. So they're following Skull back and forth, and we're doing pretty good. But we never get it past the first phase at all. I mean, the first phase is really simple. We never get past first phase, but that boss hits hard. Really hard, and there's a lot of intensive healing going on in that fight too. Like compared to the other ones, like Razagath is a different is a different beast. Like Razagath feels like what I feel like to fight a boss in like Castle Nathria. Like she feels like a Castle Nathria boss to me. But I like it. I mean, obviously she's not a Castle Nathria boss, but she's awesome. Nothing compared to Scioto Nathria's, but still a really good boss. And then the last wipe, they didn't call for wipe, so I was just sitting there fighting it, and I wasn't getting heals or anything. And then I realized I was the only one left, and suddenly I had this entire like crowd of people in the Discord cheering me on. I think I brought it down like 3 or 4%. I got down to 69%. I think I took it 3 or 4 by myself. Kept on healing myself as a blood DK. I don't know if I've said that before. I'm a blood DK tank, so that was a lot of fun. And we progressed really smoothly. The raid looks like a bunch of people who are friends, and play a whole bunch of different games together, and they decided to play World of Warcraft too. So they seem like, I mean, they're shit posters, but they seem like good people. And they invited me and my buddy back. Me and my buddy, who I will call Juicy, because that's the name of his hunter. Back to do the other raid tonight. So which will be just progression on Razagath, and I hope so. 3 hours of progression on Razagath. Really hoping we get this. I just want to see past phase 1. If we get past phase 1, I think the rest of the phases are easy, because phase 2, you're killing ads. You shouldn't get wrong with that phase. Phase 3, you stack negative and positive, and it's phase 1 all over again. That's all it is. It seems like. So I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. I think we're gonna do good on Razagath. I think we're gonna down her tonight. And then I really hope, as a tank, it's hard to find a raid group, so I really hope they invite me back to be like one of the. I don't think they have a permanent tank, so I hope that I can do that for them every Sunday and Monday. My buddy Juicy, because of his job though, he can't guarantee the Sundays and Mondays, and I really wanted to raid with him. But we're hoping we get lucky and we can do it. We don't know. We'll see. And then I'm hoping if we do clear Razagath, maybe we get it early and I can convince them to maybe progress on Heroic a little bit, Get some of that gear. I mean, everyone knows they'll go through normal again probably next week, just for gear. Or maybe on an off night do like normal and then they'll go and progress Heroic. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe I can convince them to do that. Because I want to get Heroic downed, obviously, which I have plenty of time to do that, but I do want to get Heroic downed. Okay, I've talked for like 30 minutes. You guys probably already stopped listening and stopped watching, but I had a lot go on, as you can see by my face. I will give you kind of, oh god, look under my eyes. So I would tell you guys, just as a preview, I called off of work today. That's why I'm releasing this video early, because I'm still not feeling like 100%. And I'm honestly really embarrassed with like how I look. Like if you like, I look. I don't want to go to work like this. They're not gonna watch this vlog. No one really watches this vlog except for you guys. And for you guys watching this vlog, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you don't get food poisoning or gastrointestinal infection like I had. Again, thank you so much for listening. See you guys. Bye.